If you want to learn how to become a software engineer, you've come to the right spot. We are going to start from the very bottom and work our ways up to the very top. Software is so kick-ass, and so is computer science. I hope by the end of this, you will be able to see that. And I know what you're thinking. Holy shit, this guy's attracted to binary. Listen. If I do my job properly, by the end of this multi-part educational series, you may very well be too. Are you interested now in software? All right, let's go. We're gonna be coding in C++. We're gonna get our entire environment set up on Windows. Anyways, that doesn't matter. What matters is let's get coding. We're not getting coding just yet. That was a fucking lie. I just lied straight to you. Like I said, we're starting from the bottom. Okay, we're not starting from the very bottom. We're not gonna do binary. We're not gonna do circuits just yet. We're gonna start like mid-ish level and then go down and then go back up to understand modern languages, modern features, and why they're so beautiful, and the problems that they're solving and the new problems that they create. Let's go. Let us get a little game plan going for right now. Our first thing that we're gonna want to do is we're gonna wanna install VS Code, right? We're gonna start there. That's gonna be number one. Number two is we're going to need to install C++ extension to VS Code. All right, that will give us IntelliSense. That'll make sense what that means later on. And then number three, we will install a compiler to our system. Number four, we'll write a hello world program. Woo! Woo! Is this not exciting? Are you not off your seat jumping up and down? I don't know how you couldn't be. Okay, jokes. I kid. We move on. Hey. Anyways, VS Code. Let me uninstall it from my system. I don't have it. Beautiful. VS Code. We're gonna click this little download button. It's gonna be great. Oh my God, what do we want to install for? Well, we're not on Mac. We're not running a Debian Ubuntu Linux. We're on Windows. All right, we're just gonna save this. It installs it. Yeah, okay. Let's open that up. All right, once you've installed it, go to your downloads and double click it. And now we've got this prompt. Alrighty. So we're gonna accept the terms. We're gonna click next. We're just gonna let it be in its default location. Next. Click next again. So we're just gonna make sure that register code as an editor for supported file types is checked, and same with add to path. We'll talk about what path is later on, not just yet. I don't want to overwhelm anyone. Next, and install. And once it's done installing, let's go and open it up. Oh God, it's a bit close. Nah, that's fine. All right, cool. We have now officially completed step one. All right, now step two is going to be install the C++ extension to VS Code. What we're going to start with is going to this little sidebar and clicking extensions that you can also get there with clicking Control, Shift, and X at the same time, but we're just going to click and be simple. Next, what you're going to want to do is search C++. Okay, this main one, C++, IntelliSense, debugging, and code browsing. We're going to make sure to install this extension. Boom. Okay, next. We can check off install C++ to VS Code, the extension. All right, let's save that. Next, we need a compiler. we need a compiler, but let's stop here. What do we need a compiler for? What does a compiler do? We're not going to go too in depth into a compiler. That's its own separate video. But what we need a compiler for is the following. We are able to write these C++ programs now. However, our computer doesn't understand C++, right? It understands machine language. So what a compiler does is it translates your source code, your C++ as we're using, down into a medium that your computer can understand and execute. I'm sort of glazing over and abstracting away a lot of the processes, but again, we'll go much more in depth into it in the future. So let's install a compiler. From this screen, where the extension we just added, we can scroll down and then we can click on GCC and MingW64 on Windows. And that will bring us straight to another Visual Studio Code docs page, telling us, which will give us the link to the installer for adding the compiler to our system. I'll put the link in the description below anyways. So we're just going to click direct link. It'll download it, and then we're going to download an unverified file, and then we're going to open it, and then just follow the prompts. The default. Okay, it's fine. It's just because I have it downloaded, so we're just getting rid of it. Don't even worry. Don't fret. Next. Install. Yeah! And now it's done installing, and all we have to do is make sure run MSYS2 is checked, and we just click finish. And this will open up the MSYS2 shell for us. So if we go back to the tab, there is a command that we can paste into this shell. So let's go back there. So let's just paste that in there. We can right click and then just click enter. And then enter a selection. We're just going to click enter. And then Y. Y for yes. And let that install. And now we will move on to the last part of our compiler installation, which will be adding the MingW to our path environment variables. Edit, environment, there it is, that first one, right? We're just gonna click open, enter, whatever you wanna do. Okay. So all we're gonna do is go to our user variables, click on path, and then click edit. Back to this page, we're going to copy this path, which is just the path to the bin of MSYS. The bin just stands for binary. We'll talk about binaries later. We're going to click new. I'm just going to paste that in. Click OK. For some reason, you do not have the path variable here already. Just click on new, type in path, paste in the same thing that we just pasted in that you weren't able to follow along with, and click OK. Next, we are going to confirm that it is installed. So we're going to open up our command prompt. You can just search for command prompt, right? And then what we are going to do is just GCC and check the version of it. We'll check two more things. G++ dash version, nice. And then also GDB. Oopsies, oh my God, I cannot type. And we have all three. Nice, I am proud of you. So now we can exit out of this and head back to VS Code. We're gonna go back to the extensions by clicking this or Control-Shift-X. Search in C++ again. Oh, I already have it searched. We're going to want to go to the C++ extension pack. Click it and click install. There we go. Next, we're going to open up a folder or create a folder, whatever you want to do, right? Whatever folder you want. You don't even need to put it in a new folder. You can just slap it in downloads if you want. I'm not going to judge you. Okay, next what we're going to do is create our first program. So let's go up here and click new file, or you can right click a new file, whatever your savvy is. And now it's going to ask us for the name of our file. We're going to type in main.cpp, standing for C++. You guessed it. Aha, I couldn't get anything past you. Okay, we're going to write our first hello world program. I'm just going to type it out first, and then we'll talk about what's going on. What is going on here, right? We're including this, and it's this int main. What's going on, right? So let's head back over here. So we've written that, and now we're going to talk. We've installed our GCC compiler, and now we're just going to talk about what our hello world program is actually doing. So to start that, let's talk about what is an algorithm, right? An algorithm is just a sequential list of steps that has to be executed in a specific order, which will solve a problem. An easy example of an algorithm is like the recipe for making chocolate chip cookies, for example, right? You follow this set of steps and you get a result. Solving a problem, I understand, is rather abstract. Problems don't actually need to be problems. So let's create another super simple algorithm, right? Let's say that our algorithm is a list of steps, and it's just gonna have one single step. Our single step will be add 7 to x. That's our entire algorithm, right? However, which will then produce an output, our algorithm will, right? So now to run this algorithm, we need to provide an input, provide what is x. So let's just say for this run, we're going to say x is equal to 3, right? So when we plug in x equals 3 for x here, our output of running this algorithm will be 10, right? So now we can, again, run the algorithm again with a different input, and we'll expect a different output. So we could change this to 6, right? And now we will, oopsies, change this, add 7 to 6, and now we get 13. It's that simple. That's all an algorithm is. So if we head back on over, what this is doing here is this is a package that we're including, and it's just IO stream, IO input output, right? It's your stream of input and output. So all we're saying is, hey, to our standard output, we are going to print hello world, and then we're going to end the line, end L, end line, right? And then we're returning 0. This means that our program, our main program, ran without any errors is what returning 0 at the end does. So let's run it. We'll click this little play up here. We'll click this g++.exe. It'll run it. Oh, okay, it's doing its first time installation. Loki forgot about that. Okay, we can just close out of that. And now let's run it again. And boom, there it is. Hello world, it printed out. We can X out and we can do it again. You ready? Oh, here it comes. Ah, hello world.
Wow! Damn, man, look at that, look!
Nice. Congrats, you just said hello world. You're a modern day architect. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.